Alright, so it's that time of night again for another quick cooking video. I'm going to be making fries and a couple of ham and cheese sandwiches. Why I don't have any particular meat out tonight is because I didn't thaw out any. But I'm more in the mood for fries than I am for any sort of like fish or anything like that. Right now I'm just starting by making the homemade fries. Well, cutting the potatoes into fry strips. Best way to do it is to make sure there's as little waste as possible. Now, I know it's not always possible when you got those eyes on some spuds or the potatoes themselves aren't the greatest. But, you know, these ones, they don't look half bad. Try to get them as even and as close to one another's size as possible. Nothing wrong with a little raw potato now and then. It's extra iron. It's a little thick. That one hit the floor. But just trim it up a little bit and it'll be cooked anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Only just hit the floor as we grabbed it. Now, the best knives to use, in my opinion, are slightly serrated, but also still, you know, not heavily serrated knives. Yes, I have made fries with a large, non-serrated knife, which is also not terribly difficult, but I found that knives like this one, your average, like, store-bought dollar store steak knife, isn't actually half bad. It's actually one of my better and more preferred ones. I don't know, it's just something about the way I can handle this one much better than I can with a long, large, unserrated or a very rough serrated blade. As an example, let's see. That one, and this one, the one I used last time. So this big one here, I have used before to make fries as well, but, you know, it does the trick. It's actually not as bad. It just takes a lot more effort to cut through it and pull it out. than it does to just simply use this one. And when I say largely serrated blades, I mean like this little guy here. Those are much more defined serrations in the blade at the bottom there than this one. Now, the reason I find that lightly serrated blades are good for cutting potatoes is it just cuts straight in and you can pull it out quick and smooth. And it doesn't take a whole lot of effort. Now, with that out of the way, I'm gonna start up my fry oil over here. Tonight I'm just doing it on a flat iron, cast iron pan, solely because my other pan that I used before is in the pantry behind me, and it is completely, what's the word, covered in other dishes. It's in the pantry. Emphasis on in. Now I'm just throwing on some pink Himalayan salt, which was grounded freshly as in the container. I used some seasoned salt so far. I've used a touch of lemon pepper spice, some Italian seasoning. Put a little extra oil on in this pan because it's a little more difficult to use. Solid flat, but I can't be too much, and I can't use, you know, too little. Too little can be a problem, too much can be a problem. Grab some butter real quick. We don't need too much grease and not enough flavor. You use too much flavor and not enough grease is the same issue. Now while that goes, I'll worry about the other side of it. Get out of my plate. Yes, I recently shaved, if y'all are wondering why I don't have my beard. I actually just shaved last night. Key factor, I didn't use shaving cream last night because I don't have shaving cream. So for all those out there who say, well, it's not a big deal if you shaved, yes it is. Most people have to shave with shaving cream. I, on the other hand, not so much. What we're gonna need though is a big old bowl. Get our paper towel layer in there. Reason we want to put a paper towel layer inside the bowl when we put the fries in it is so that all the grease in it is soaked up. Plus, it'll catch any of the extra salt and stuff we add to it once they're in there. You want to cautiously be careful how much grease is in one part of the pan versus the other. Because consciously, we don't want the deep fry oil getting too, what you want to call it in there, too overburdened on one side versus the other. Because then it'll have a tendency to spill out on one side of it versus the other. And if it spills out at all, it can cause a fire. And a grease fire is harder to put out than a normal fire or an electrical fire for some. Why? It's a lot hotter and it can cause far more problems. There's not a lot of people out there that I'm aware of who know how to put out a grease fire. Fortunately, I may be one of them, but I don't really want to involve myself in having to do that. Gotta grab a test fry. Halfway. Get those taken care of. Now we're going to cut a fresh tomato. More or less fresh, recently bought. But it's about as fresh as we can get it. You know? Another reason to use a serrated blade, you can cut smoothly through a tomato. I know a lot of people don't like tomato, but I do. Now whatever we don't use, we can keep in a bowl. It's good enough for me that we got ourselves a little bit of extra decent small bowls that'll hold them pretty well. Some of these are looking about crispy and ripe and ready to roll. Spatula right there. That's one of them. Might as well do a hint of pepper on some of them. And a hint of oregano versus the thyme, or Italian dressing. Italian seasoning. Now for our sandwich prep. We got our pieces of bread out. Now we're going to be putting mayonnaise. No big deal. Those aren't lip burners. Okay, we'll do the sandwich prep in a second. I gotta keep an eye on some of these here fries. Now we put more fries on. Might as well just get them done first and then worry about sandwich prep. Got that many more fries left. Good thing and a bad thing. There, all our raw fries are in. Dousing their spices. Get a bit of extra Buddha. Butter. got this spatula out besides the fries. There is a clever little trick that I picked up once upon a time during my time watching some cooks at a family-run restaurant at one point. Now, it isn't the wisest of tricks, but it does catch you, get you what you're looking for in a slowly decent time. The only thing that I have to do is make sure that the spatula is warm enough to do the trick. I would not recommend it unless you've seen it done. End of story. Don't need to be making a mess with the mayonnaise over here. Well, it looks like this container is finally empty. Which means I don't really want to do that yet. Step 1 for the sandwich prep. Mayonnaise. I know a lot of people don't like mayo or mayonnaise, but I do. When I say see the trick done, I mean like literally you've seen a professional try it. Because they'll show you how to do it right. By no means am I a professional. Now we're putting our ham on our sandwiches. There's a reason I'm blocked off the view. Yes, purposely blocked it off. Now we're getting our Sargento Colby Jack cheese out. Doing our trick real quick. There. Now I gotta quickly finish the fries and not burn myself more than once. Oh shit, that's not good. That's why they make Dawn dish soap though.